Can somebody please confirm if I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
We can hear you.
Let's wait for another minute. If somebody else joins, let's wait for them. Okay. All right, let's get going. So we have Vishakha today. We've covered till Swati the last week. So Vishakha is the nakshatra that we are talking about today. So people can look at their Janma Nakshatra, that's the moon's star, as Vishakha. That's one way of looking at class today. And an advanced way is to know about the dispositor of the Lagna Lord. That's the first thing that one has to look for. Whatever nakshatra the Lagna Lord dispositor is there, that is going to influence a lot in the life's theme. After that, it is about the Lagna's cusp, followed by the Lagna Lord. So the placement of planets in different nakshatras we are talking about. So today we'll talk about Vishakha in the same order. So what we will look at is the mantra of the Vishakha from the Taittiriya Brahmana. And we will also look at a few Puranic stories, followed by the traits of the person of Vishakha and the symbols in Vishakha. And also we'll talk about where the each house, wherever Vishakha is placed, each house, how does a Vishakha work? We'll talk about that too. So let's look at Vishakha. Vishakha is ruled by two deities together. One is Indra, the other one is Agni. These two are the deities in Vishakha. And regarding the Puranic stories, we are covering Mahabharata from Makha onwards. So this is represented by Karna. Karna is a warrior in the Mahabharata, and also Radha, who is the consort of Krishna. Okay, so these two are the basic deities in Vishakha. We'll talk about them. The mantra is Indragniyor Vishakhe Yugani Parastat Krushamana Avastat. Indragniyor Vishakhe Parastat Krushamana Yugani Parastat Krishamana Avastat. That's the mantra. So the deity is, so this nakshatra has two deities. One is Indra, the other one is Agni. So you have the qualities of both Indra and Agni. Indra is represented by the, Indra represents a person who is a Kshatriya, okay, like who's a warrior caste. Agni represents the Brahmana caste. So this is a mixture of having both the qualities of Kshatriya and Brahmana. Okay, it's like the uh, was Vishwamitra as well. Vishwamitra is born as a person born in the Kshatriya caste and went into behave like a Brahmana after having become a Maharshi. So you can even look at the characteristics of Vishwamitra as well, which I have not described here. However, a few qualities of him can be ascribed to this Vishakha. So the symbols are triumphal arc, and so how does a triumphal arc look? So, or the triumphal arch, whatever way you would want to call it. So if you're playing video games, you would be like, there will be level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, right? So in the life of a Vishakha, the person is setting up goals for himself. So he crosses one level, then he push himself again to the second level, then to the third level, then to the fourth level. It means that the person is constantly putting up goals for him so that he would reach in due course of time. That is what is represented by Vishakha, the first piece. Then we have potter's wheel. So, which would mean, if you see the potter's wheel, what you would understand from it is you need a lot of patience to make pots. It's not an easy task to carve pots out of this potter wheel. You need a lot of skill and you need a lot of patience. And the mud has to be, the kind of mud that they are using, it needs to have a certain consistency. Only then you can make it or mold it into a pot. If you have it too watery, it's difficult. If you have less water, then also it's difficult. So you need to have that right consistency, and Vishakha is very good at it because it's ruled by two deities. They have a lot of skill set. Okay. Vishakha must be having one of the highest skill sets. If you ask me who has got the best skill set, then people from the Libra are very good at it. So, of which Vishakha will be one of them, wherein the skill set is too huge. Next is you have the a tree with spreading branches, and then which symbolizes protection for a lot of people. So if you see a tree, what would a tree represent? It spreads out itself. It gives a lot of shade. A lot of people can sit under it. It will try to protect you from heat from the sun and water from the rain. So if there is rain, if there is heat, you can take shade under the tree. Okay, so it is going to spread so much, or it would visualize itself into a grown-up tree and tries to protect a lot of people. That is Vishakha. And then white lotuses, these usually bloom when there is twilight in the evening. So Vishakha is always dual. Okay, there is always two things in Vishakha. It's not one thing. So they have two things in mind always, and they're trying to work on two things at a time. Such people are Vishakha. They can be sailing on two boats at a time. Even such qualities can be found in Vishakha. Or they are always at a crossroads where they would want to decide which way should be gone. Okay, which way they should take is what Vishakha is all about. Then we have a male tiger. Eventually, we'll talk about male tiger as well when we talk in the symbols. We have the kind of nakshatra. This is a very special nakshatra wherein it is both hard and soft. Okay, a hard and a soft nakshatra would mean a person can take a decision which is very hard, or he is stuck in a position where it is very soft for him to make a decision. So it is actually a changing nakshatra, so it will have both the qualities. So I mean, do not take any of the quality that, let us suppose you have something in a hard thing. Do not think it is going to give you only negative. Sometimes hard decisions have to be taken. Sometimes hard steps have to be taken in life. In such a case, it is going to be helpful. Sometimes a softer decision can do the job where hard decision can, spoil the make a spoil sport. In such a case, a hard decision is bad. So do not think something which is soft would mean give you a good result. Something hard would mean will give you a bad result. No, it's not generalized so. Sometimes it is good to be soft. Sometimes it is good to be hard, depending on the situation. So the next one is facing or looking towards. This is an Adhomukha Nakshatra, which would mean looking downwards. That is correcting self, just in case something goes wrong. The person is trying to correct himself and trying to be, a different man and trying to achieve his goals. So something goes wrong while he's trying to achieve something, then what he would do, I mean, there are three ways of addressing a problem as far as these facings are concerned. An Adhomukha would correct himself. An Urdhva Mukha would, ask for help from the heavens. That means he's conducting pujas or havans or anything like that. So that is looking upwards. Third one is looking sideways. So somebody who is trying to correct the environment around him, is trying to correct the environment around him, wherein he could be changing his office, or he could be changing the people he is going to meet every day, and then he's making a different success. Okay, these are three different ways of how one can walk towards progress. The number of stars in this nakshatra is 4. So the nickname of this nakshatra is it's a star of purpose. So this is an apt nakshatra for people who are looking at what is the purpose. So these people would not do anything more or less. So they are trying to do something which is exactly what is necessary for that situation, because it's ruled by these two people who are the most clever. Okay. Indra is good in his own thing, and Agni as well. We have talked in Kritika. So Indra we have talked in Chitra. Okay. Although we have not talked about Indra, the real Indra will come in Jyeshtha and also in Satavisha. We even talked about both these nakshatras. However, we talked a little bit on Indra in Chitra nakshatra. So Indra can be somebody who is trying to be a. You can just look at an Indra Sabha in any of the movie. Pick a movie, just watch how Indra Sabha is. Indra is sitting on a chair, okay, and his chair is about 1 or 2 steps higher than his colleagues, but they are all calling them each other like brothers. Okay, hey Varun brother. That's how he's represented. So that's how he is called by Indra. So all these are friends amongst each other. However, Indra is just a step above all these people. So Indra is like a manager or a principal in a school which has got 10 departmental heads. So all the 10 departmental heads are represent or are reporting to the principal, who is just about one step ahead of him, and each other are calling by the names. Okay. The forked one. This is another signification for Vishakha, wherein, as I said, the person is either sailing on two boats, he's trying to do two things at a time, or he's stuck at a place which is a crossroads, and he has to decide which way he has to progress. So somebody who is indecisive about the life, that is Vishakha, or he's trying to progress on two things, which is making him, a lot of effort you need, right? Let us suppose you have two businesses. One is, I don't know, one could be a paint industry he's running, and he's also doing agriculture. Okay, so what happens? Both would need your support. Okay, because agriculture, you have to plow the land, the person has to go in the morning, and paints also will be sold in the daytime. So he has to go there as well. He must be managing two different businesses. That's one way of looking at it. Or he is trying to decide upon whether he has to go into the paint industry or he has to pick the agriculture. There can be both the things possible depending upon the planet's afflictions, and also look at the placements in the dispositors or the cusps, etc. So you have to decide based on all this, mix up all that. It will take a little bit of time for you to master upon all these, but once you get an essence of how all these are working, I think in a jiffy you would be able to find out what exactly went wrong, and you can decide what can be given as a solution. All right, the forked one, the branched one would mean the same. Okay, so let me just show you the forked one or the branched one. This is the forked one or a branched tree. So usually what happens is the tree has a trunk. You can see this trunk. What happens is the tree, an usual tree would be having a trunk, and of which there would be a lot of branches. But this specific Vishakha tree is such that the trunk itself is divided into a forked thing, and two trunks go out of the single trunk. So you can neither call it a trunk nor call it a branch. It's neither a branch nor a trunk. That's how Vishakha is. So what would that represent is the person is neither doing two things nor doing one thing. So he's actually mixing up too many things. Okay, it can be so as well. Always use 3, 4 significations, and everything would show the same thing. Then you can decide either he's confused, or is he running really two businesses, or is he unable to decide what has to be done. All three can be possible. Or at different times, the same person may be in different situations. All right. Radha. Radha is Krishna's consort, and also Karna's mother is also called as Radha. So if you ask Karna in Mahabharata, when he was claiming himself to be the son of Radha, that's why he was called as Radheya. That is one way of addressing Karna. And Krishna's consort, the first love of Krishna is also Radha. So that also is represented by this nakshatra. Then the delightful one. Somebody who has been achieving in life continuously is Vishakha. And he's always pushing his lines. The end line is always pushed by Vishakha. Vishakha sets up a goal for himself. He reaches it and he's not happy about it. He would still push the goal further and then he would try to achieve it. Okay. So this is one good thing about Vishakha. The only bad thing I can talk about Vishakha is he's taking too much of pain upon himself. He's actually pushing himself too much, or he is, little unfortunate to bear a lot of responsibilities, because Vishakha people get a lot of responsibilities upon themselves for their, you know, for nothing that they have done. I mean, nothing wrong that they have committed in life, but they will still get a lot of responsibilities over their head. That is one more thing that Vishakha might get. The foundation is to cultivate, and the foundation below is reaping the harvest. So what does Vishakha people have in their mind? I mean, foundation below would mean is having something in their mind. What are they doing an action for? So an action is done by Vishakha to reap the harvest. That means the person is focused on making money. In olden days, reaping the harvest is when you harvest crop, you're going to get money. Okay, that's how it is. And because he needs money, he needs the harvest. That's why he's cultivating, or he's trying to sow crops. Okay, he's trying to sow seeds to do the cultivation so that he can reap the harvest. And Shakti is Vyapana Shakti. Vyapana. Vyapti, Vyapana would mean the power to spread. He's trying to spread across all the places. You know why he's trying to spread across everywhere is because this has two deities. Both the deities have different qualities and they are experts in their own fields. Agni is a Brahmana. He has an expertise in some fields. Indra is a Kshatriya. He has expertise in some fields. So you mix up both the deities, you're going to get all the positive points from both the deities. And this person is trying to spread himself or spread his wings across all that he knows because he's an expert in a lot of subjects. Okay. Because he's an expert and he's trying to achieve, there are more setbacks. When a person is trying to achieve something, that is when a setback will come. If a person is sitting in a room, not trying to do anything and just simply wasting time all the day, he will never get a setback because he has decided that my life, I have understood what I have to do in my life. I'll just enjoy with what I have and I'm not going to aspire for anything. Whereas Vishakha, as I said, is highly aspirational because Vishakha thinks I'm Indra, I'm Agni. I have both the qualities and I have to make use of these qualities to get success in life. And my Shakti should be is to spread across everywhere. That is how Vishakha is going to work. Okay, to gain this greatest splendor among the gods. If you look at the Vedic deities, Indra is regarded as the supreme deity in Vedic religion. Okay, follows him is Agni. Okay, both these are regarded as the supreme deities just for a reason because they have the greatest radiance or the greatest splendor. That means radiance or splendor would mean is that you have a lot of varchas, right? Varchas is the right word in the Sanskrit. So these people are like shining always. Okay. So they're going to shine in whatever field they would pick up, they're going to master in those fields. So we have Indra and we have Agni and we have Karna and we have Radha. These are the Puranic stories. And you can pick up Vishwamitra as well, as I just said. You can pick a few qualities from him. You cannot pick the whole qualities of Vishwamitra because Vishwamitra has been a little arrogant and stuff like that. Indra and Agni, Vishakha is a little arrogant, but not too much on the arrogance like the Jeshta. because Jeshta is one of the most arrogant, whereas Indra and Agni combination would show that he is arrogant for situations wherein an achievement is needed. Because the nakshatra is both soft and hard, he has a clear understanding of where arrogance has to be shown and where softness has to be shown. He's very clear on that. So you cannot catch him, that you cannot point it out at him saying that, look, you're an arrogant guy. No, because if somebody is going to point out saying, look, you're arrogant, he will not show the arrogance at all. He would try to, portray himself as a very soft person when needed, and try to show him or showcase himself as a very arrogant man just in case if it's needed. So such is the expertise of Indra and Agni. So he will use both the characteristics. All right. So that is Indra and Agni. On the mantra side, you have Vishakhe. Vishakhe. V means two. Okay. Vishakhe. So you have two shakhas, or V means Vina Shakhe. Vina means not having any branch. So somebody who has no branches or somebody who has two branches, both would mean Vishakha. Okay. And which is usually the word goes is Vishakhe would mean there are two branches, or two, it is split into two, is called as Vishakha. So the person is trying to do two things, not one thing. That is Vishakha. Yugani would again mean the same. Okay. Indragniyor Vishakhe Yugani. So this again would say two things, or striving for a union. The person is trying to make partnerships with someone, or trying to be alongside someone and try to achieve what has to be achieved. What does this mean is Karna always tried to be alongside this man, Duryodhana, and tried to achieve whatever he desired for. Why did Karna reach Duryodhana? Because he was insulted. He was facing a lots of insults, and he always thought that he deserves more. Karna always thought that I deserved more, but I'm not getting such thing. So let me approach someone who would make a way for me. Now you cannot be thinking that Duryodhana is a bad man, Karna is a bad man, so Vishakha is a bad man. This is not how you would look at things. No one is good, no one is bad. What we are trying to see is we are looking at what is the life of the person. So never think that Karna is a good man, so Vishakha is a good man. You may have bad people in Vishakha, you may have good people in Vishakha. This is true across all the 27 nakshatras. Do not try to stamp a person just based on nakshatra or anything. It's impossible to have completely good person or a completely bad person. Okay. Krushamana. Krushamana is again the same farmer thing which I just talked about, is the cultivation thing. So cultivation would necessarily not mean an agriculturist. So the person is trying to, how does cultivation work, or how does agriculture work? The farmer is trying to sow seeds in the soil today. The crop is going to come after 6 months if everything goes well, or some crops would come after 1 year. There are certain crops that would the person has to wait for many decades, and maybe after 10 years the crop comes out. Okay, such can be the thing. All right. So what does this mean? As Krushamana can mean somebody is sowing sowing seeds, or somebody is working on something where the results are coming very late. Okay, his field is such wherein today he is working and the results will come after 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. Okay. Uh, it does not mean that somebody is trying to be a doctor or something. I mean, don't generalize things. He can be in the same field as we are all are. I mean, he could be a civil engineer, he could be a mechanical engineer, he could be anyone. However, what he's trying to do is, I mean, I can give you one example. Let's suppose he's investing in funds, okay, in the stock market. So he has a plan to reap his funds after 5 years or 10 years, okay. And today he's trying to invest money into it. This gets into Vishakha, okay. This is one example that just struck my mind, so I am just speaking my mind out. All right. So the other mantra that we get to see is Chandrama manaso jatah chaksho suryo ajayatah mukhat indraschagnischa pranat vayu rajayatah. So this is from the Purusha Suktam. So if you see Pranat Vayura Jayata, we talked about Swati last week, which talked about the Vayu. Okay. Now we are talking about Indrascha Agnischa, the which is the Vishakha, which represents the Mukha. So face has Indra and Agni. That means the person is trying to use his face, okay, which has got Indra and Agni for his career or talking. So Indra and Agni, where would they come? Mukha would mean two things. One can be the face. The other word for mukha is also the mouth. Okay. Muh, mukh. Both are both are synonymous in most of the languages. So the person is talking like Indra and Agni, or he is making use of his speech to gain dominance or to prove that he's Indra or he's Agni. Okay. So Indra and Agni as deities, what we can understand from here is these people are very good eaters because Agni is someone who eats everything. Okay, if you put anything into Agni, there would be ash at the end, right? Agni eats up everything, even when there is the doomsday that comes up. If there is Agni due to the doomsday, Agni swallows everything into it, and there will be ash that is let out after the Agni eats everything. So because they have Agni, like Kritika, these people have a very good digestive system and they do not complain much about the taste of food. Okay, Kritika may be complaining about the taste of food sometimes. However, Vishakha does not complain about the taste of food. They eat very well. Okay, provided good food, they eat very well. That is Vishakha. That's how easily one can identify how a Vishakha is. However, if Mars is aspecting it, maybe he's not going to eat so much, or even Saturn aspecting the Vishakha is not eating so much. These are a few observations which I made on myself. I mean, not on myself in the sense which I made myself looking at a few horoscopes. Indra and Agni both were lustful people. However, don't jump into conclusions immediately. Uh, Radha, okay, who was the consort of Krishna, has always loved only Krishna. And Karna is also a very dharmic man who never went into other women. So it may be both the ways in Vishakha. However, there is a humble advice from my side is that do not try to predict anything on the relationship side, okay, to anyone. Do not get into their personal thing trying to say that look, your husband has got another affair somewhere. I mean, unless you're very clear, and this tries to help the individual. Okay, unless you're very clear. I mean, just to make a point wherein, some people, I have heard a few people who come back to me asking, look, somebody told me they looked at my horoscope a few days ago and they said my husband is in a relationship. I went up for something else, but what came up is my husband is in a relationship. Do you think this is true? Okay, I don't know how people can make out such things so easily. Sometimes just to make a point or just to show that an astrologer is an astrologer, people try to say uh, a few things. I think you understand what I'm saying. So as long as it's useful for the person, try to predict it. Otherwise, do not get into the personal lives of people because we are astrologers. If we get into their bedroom lives, then we are actually spoiling ourselves. Okay, just keep this in mind always. Always keep yourself clean. Otherwise, it will intrude into everything, and all your brain is going to get spoiled off and none of your predictions will come true after a point in time because you're too much into the bedroom life of other people. Do not get into it. All right. So indecision and inner conflict due to dual nature. Okay, so some people may still have a genuine problem saying, "Look, I need this reason. I need this understanding of whether this is right or not, and I need to make a few decisions. Then be circumspect, be watchful. Just not make using just one thing like Agni and Indra are lustful. So somebody has a planet in Kritika wouldn't mean that the person is doing adultery or something like that. I mean, do not jump into such conclusions. You're ruining the lives of people. And some people are also learning a few tricks wherein the seventh lord gets into the third house, then somebody has a relation. I mean, they are jumping into conclusions with no understanding of what the whole structure is. If it was so easy just to have the seventh lord in the third house, somebody has a relationship, uh, that will ruin the life of the astrologer as well as he proceeds in life. Okay, just be clear, or try to understand it from 100 horoscopes, make it a prediction for yourself, and then say, because seventh lord in the third house will not always mean a relationship. Okay, do not go by such simple things which you're putting people's lives in dangers. Okay, indecision and inner conflict. This can also be one of the traits, because this is a Libran trait. You have a Libra active person, you try to talk to him for making a decision, then he would be the most confused person on the earth. Okay, do not go to a Libra person for making a decision. Okay, so Vishakha as well, because it has got two things always in mind, so he's not able to make a decision or pick from these two options. So that's a real difficult. And if you see Libra sign as well, there is a weighing balance, right? On one side you want to put weight, the other side is actually coming up, and one side you try to manage, the other side always bounces back. So that is Libra. So the person is trying to juggle between two things, or he's not able to decide which one is lot वजन ज्यादा है, किस तरफ वजन ज्यादा है, is not able to understand that, or he's not able to understand which side is weighing more. All right. So one thing which is very good about Vishakha that I have seen is they're constantly trying to go up the ladder. They are always trying to go up the ladder, and they want to use all their skills in the professional success. Okay. And what happens with these people is either when they make a professional decision, their personal life is actually affected. I'll give you an example for this. A person gets two jobs. Okay. One job is in a place which is very close by to his native. The other is a little far away. Let's suppose a person is from Chennai. Okay. This person does not know, or his family does not know Hindi. This person has got a job in Pune. Okay. That's a good job. And the Vishakha person who's living in Chennai wants to pick that job because he's getting a decent salary, maybe 2 lakhs a month he's getting, just for an example. Okay, that's one job which he has. Another job he has got in Bangalore. So Bangalore is like 200, 250 kilometers from Chennai. So in 4 hours, 5 hours time, he can go back and forth between Chennai and Bangalore. But he got only a lakh rupee salary. Now, if he picked Pune, okay, his family does not understand Hindi. She can't speak English. So she knows only Tamil, assuming, just for the sake of assumption. Even this man, who is a Tamilian, not very good at Hindi. And okay, he picked up a few lines in the past 1-2 years wherever he has worked, just for an example. Okay, now if he picks up the Pune job, he would get a good salary, but his wife keeps complaining after coming back home. Look, I'm looking very aloof here. I don't have people to talk. I cannot talk to anyone. How long can I keep talking over the phone to my mom? Do something. Okay. He would still be doing very well in the job. At one point in time, he would give up maybe after 5 years or 6 years or 7 years or 10 years, whatever the time is. He'll pick and move back to the place, Bangalore or Chennai or wherever the wife is comfortable. Then his professional life is actually going down. Okay. So once his professional life is good, once his personal life is good. Okay, this can be an example. So he's trying to balance out two things, but he has a very calculated understanding of how much my professional life can be affected by this, how much my personal life is affected by this. So this person is trying to make or strike a balance between these two things. Okay, that is how Vishakha works. And this person is ambitious. This person wants to do a lot of professional success, but not every time he gets the opportunity to do so. Sometimes he's forced to pick an option which pushes him on the personal side. Like I said, if the wife is too pushy, then he has to pick a job either in the Chennai or in the Bangalore. Okay. So two deities are ruling this. So always he's trying to balance between two choices. And they are very adaptive to the environment that they are provided. Even if he lives in Pune, this man goes around, talks to the people in whatever language he knows, and he's pretty happy about whatever is happening. However, his wife or mother or somebody who's living along with him is not that happy because the environment is not good. And he's forced to take back the decision that he has made. This is one Vishakha trait. Okay. Loyalty and devotion. This person, Vishakha man, is looking at constantly one person in his life who he is dedicated to. Okay. So what does that mean is in the professional life, let us suppose uh, in Hindi we call him like yar, right? Yar bana ke rakhega. In the Tamil we say yarach nanbar. So we find a friend, we find a friend or a colleague or someone who is equally talented to him or maybe a little less than him because Vishakha is the most talented. You cannot find usually the Vishakhas. They are excellently talented. Matching talent of Vishakha is very difficult, but Vishakha is very, very humble. He would say, look, the other person has more talent because he knows something that this Vishakha does not know. He would try to learn everything from him. Okay. So humility is one good thing in Vishakha. I mean, imagine Karna approaching Duryodhana for work. Okay. And Duryodhana obliges because he knows that Karna is the most talented and he's the only person who can stop Arjuna for him. So now I again tell you, do not think Duryodhana is a bad guy offering a job to a good guy, or I mean, do not corrupt your brains with this. Look at it in a neutral way, as if Duryodhana is a Raja. Okay, Duryodhana is a king. Somebody approached him. You can take it that way. Or Duryodhana is a friend, and Karna approached him. That's all. So X is a friend of Y, and Y is the subject. The subject approached him for a job or a help or something, and these two are traveling together. What does that mean is, let's suppose both are investing in the stock market. Two people are investing. So this man needs a support of the stock market. So this man learns from him. He'll say, look, I invested in Reliance today. So this man also invests in Reliance. Look, I invested, I took out money. I mean, I sold, I don't know, whatever company it is. Cipla, I have just sold Cipla. Okay. So this man also will sell Cipla because his friend sold it. Okay. That's one way of looking at it. So he has one friend on the stock market side. At the professional side, at the office, he has one friend who he always aspires, admires to become like him, or whatever he wants, he would keep doing for him. Like Karna always did whatever Duryodhana wanted. Duryodhana asked him to die, that's why Karna died. Okay, otherwise he would have been alive. All right, sacrificial nature. So if you look at Radha on the loyalty and devotion side, although Krishna did not marry Radha, Krishna had married 8 other women. Radha was the first love of him, and she remained sacred and she did not marry. That's one side of the story. Or a few people say Krishna also married Radha and she is the first wife of him. I have no problem with both the things. However, most of the texts would say that Rukmini is the first wife and Radha is only a consort or a love. So a lot of sacrifice or a lot of injustice happened to these uh, Vishakhas. Both Karna and Radha are served with injustice at the end. I mean, do not think that so Vishakha will be served only with injustice. So what does that mean is, for the amount of work because if you go back to the intro, the amount of work the the agriculturist has to do, okay, he sows up seeds, okay. So what is the expectation? Let us suppose there is a paddy field, is growing rice. So the expectation is I'm going to get 40 bags of rice per acre. That's the expectation a farmer would have. Okay, any crop, if somebody is sowing a crop or cultivating something, go back and ask the farmer. He would say, look, this is a paddy field. I'll get 40 bags. Everybody else would get 40 bags. This man does the same amount of work, but he would get only 30 bags. So 10 bags have gone. Okay, so this can be one result. Or he would expect that I'm going to buy the next field which is adjacent to him, because some part of the land on the other side somebody has sold at like 1 crore rupees, just for an example. And this man approaches the person and says, look, your field is just adjacent to mine. Why don't you sell it off to me? I'll offer the same 1 crore to you, and the adjacent land is sold at 1 crore. And this person, the person who is selling, would say, I need 1.5 crore. Only then I will sell. And he'll buy that land at 1.5 crore. Okay. So this person is aspirational. Okay. This person is actually aspiring for too many things. That is why he is he is actually settling for less. Because if you ask any businessman, right? You go to any businessman and ask him how you are successful. He would say, look, I have failed for 10 times, and at the 11th time I'm successful. Vishakha is that. So if you are looking at Vishakha as a failure, he would look he would look like a failure to you. However, Vishakha clearly understands this principle. Before success, there is failure, and you should not stop at the failure. You have to keep walking, and one day you will be successful. This is the mantra of all the Vishakhas. You ask any Vishakha, he would say, I have failed for 10 times, 11th time, and successful. Okay? All right. Now you have the sacrificial nature, which I have told you just now. Social challenges. A lot of people face discrimination. Okay. Vishakha people are forced to face discrimination. The discrimination can be as clearer as a social discrimination, and sometimes it is not very clear why they are discriminated. I'll tell you an example of a discrimination. There are three children at the home. Okay, two brothers, one sister. Assuming, okay, just an example. So one of the brothers is Vishakha. This person thinks, or this person is really discriminated because he hasn't got a share of the wealth that the parents have, the parents have earned. The other two children have got it. However, what flows through in the market, what goes through in the market as a rumor is, look, this man has got everything, and the other two children are denied actually. So it goes the other way around in the market, or in the friends and the community or the circle. Whereas the reality is, this person really has not got anything. Okay, so that's the kind of discrimination. What the parents will say is, look, you're still working, you have the caliber to work, so we are not giving you much, but we are trying to give you to your other two siblings who are not doing very great in the in the family. And we know that one day you'll be successful, and you're on the right track and the path. You have the right education, you have the right ways to earn, and the other two people, the other two brothers of you are not doing that great. So don't worry. I mean, we are trying to give the whole um, what is that, inheritance into the other two brothers that you have. And the person doesn't feel about it, and he would happily accept it and say, that's fine, it's okay, I know I can earn, no problem, please go ahead and give away all the money. Deep love. So if you have a friend, Vishakha friend, you are really blessed. Somebody has a friend who is Vishakha. Okay, Vishakha as friends are very, very, very helpful. They can help anyone, because Kunti came up to Karna and said, look, uh, please do not kill my children. Okay, Kunti said, please do not kill my children. Take a vow, promise me, I'm your mother. Then Karna said, look, it's not because you're my mother that I'm promising you, but you're a woman and you asked for help. I'm helping you for that sake. So I can only tell you that if Arjuna comes up and fights with me, I will still kill Arjuna, but I will not kill any of the four other brothers. Okay. So this can be also seen. So anybody who's asking for help, these people are ready to do. If it is possible by them. I mean, anything that is impossible, they cannot do. Anyway, they will deny. Because they know what they are capable of. That's the beauty of this nakshatra. If they know that they are not capable of doing this, they will straight away say, look, I'm not capable of doing this. There is another guy who can do this. I'll ask you to go there. Please go and ask him. Okay. Most of the times these people are easily misunderstood. So Karna is misunderstood that because he has supported Duryodhana, he is usually put up in the bad guys list. And Radha is always misunderstood for the, for being just the love of Krishna, but never got married to him. These are misunderstood figures. And both are highly spiritual. Both were doing the right things, following the right dharma in life. But they met with tragic endings. As I said, tragic endings would not mean somebody who is unsuccessful. Please do not look at it in that angle. Before every success, there is a failure. And this is true for everyone. Even if you ask one of the biggest people who are successful on this earth, they would say, look, I have failed for 10 times. And the 11th time I have won this. Okay. And they will always achieve greatness. That is the Vishakha. They'll have a lot of challenges in life, but still, despite that, they will be able to achieve success. Okay. When Karna departed, when Karna left, when Karna was shot by Arjuna, and at the end, people got to know that Karna is also the son of Kunti, because Kunti had to accept in front of everyone that Karna is the first child of Kunti. And immediately Dharmaraja said, you could have told this a long back. Why did you hide this thing from all of us? So from today, women cannot be holding any secrets. So, I mean, for uh, we keep we keep saying jokingly that women cannot hold secrets. That's because of the Yudhishthira's curse. So women cannot hold secrets. So moon is debilitated here in the Vishakha's first pada. Moon would what is moon? Moon is something which cannot take discrimination. Okay, moon is manas, right? Somebody tries to tell you, look, you do not belong here, because Karna was always said, like, look, it's a Kshatriya sport. A bow and an arrow, archery, all this is a Kshatriya sport. You do not belong to this place. Please go away. And you cannot fight Arjuna or anyone, because a Kshatriya should fight a Kshatriya. A Brahmana has to fight a Brahmin. So you go back now. You're not fit here. So moon is something like the manas or the mind. So moon cannot tolerate discrimination. That's one way of looking at it. Second is secrecy of the Scorpio, because Vishakha fourth pada falls in Scorpio, and Scorpio is the place where secrets are kept, and Moon is not good at keeping secrets. Moon cannot hold secrets, so that's one thing why Moon debilitates here. And Moon Vishakha requires a lot of hard work. Moon is not good at doing hard work. You know why? Because nobody wants to work 24 hours in a day. Vishakha Nakshatra pushes you to work long hours. You have to put long effort. Vishakha would mean, as I said, like, if you have to be successful, you have to face a lot of failures. And Moon does not want failures, because Manas wants only success. You ask anyone, what do you want? You would say, I would want to be successful. Nobody will say, I want to be a failure for 10 times and then I want to be successful at the 11th time. Nobody will say this, okay? Underline this statement. I want to fail for 10 times and on the 11th time I want to succeed. Nobody will agree on this. I would say I would want the success at the first time. I cannot handle failures for 10 times. Vishakha is a nakshatra wherein 10 times there is a failure, at the 11th time there is a big success. Because the goal of the person is too huge, the person is pushing himself so hard, that's why there are failures. Okay, which moon does not like? That's one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is moon is mother. Nobody's mother wants her son to be working very hard. Always mothers would think my child should be happily sitting at a place under the AC without doing any work and all the money let flow into him. This is what all the mothers want. No mother would prefer my child should go and work for 20 hours but should get a pay of only 5 hours. Would any mother would think like that? No one, right? So if somebody is thinking like that, she's not a real mother at all. That's why moon debilitates here. So what does moon debilitation would mean? It's a debilitation for the moon. It has got nothing to do for the person at all. Okay. So somebody has a debilitated moon would mean the debilitation is for for the moon. Do not think the person has a moon debilitation, so mother is dying, or if the moon is ruling the seventh house. I have seen people saying, look, your moon is the seventh lord, so seventh lord debilitated, your wife is dying. I mean, I'm listening such predictions as well. They don't work at all. Okay. First thing is moon debilitation does not necessarily mean any death or any problem, or any planet for that matter being in debility would only mean this one. Like, what is the base sense of it? And what is the signification of the nakshatra or the Rashi? And what is the signification of the planet? If they are contradicting to each other, that is where the debilitation happens. When if it is going along, then that is where the exaltation happens. Okay. Moon would like to grow. Rohini and Kritika are places which are very highly illuminated because Agni is illumination. So moon wants light. So that's where moon is getting the exaltation. Rohini would represent growth. Moon would always want to grow. He does not want to have the waning phase in him. He always want to wax and he always wants to grow. So that is why in Kritika and Rohini, moon is considered exalted. Vishakha, Anuradha, and Jyeshtha, which we will talk in the due course, Anuradha and Jyeshtha as well, moon would feel it is not getting enough light because it's in the southern direction. Northern direction has more light and southern direction has lower light in the ecliptic. It's not, I'm not talking about the earth, I'm talking about the whole universe thing. If you try to divide it into south and north, then you have lower light here and higher light because there is Agni on the other side. I mean, okay. Skillful. First thing is Vishakha, means he is highly skillful. This person has, I'll tell you, like if you know understand if you understand flow charts, right? People talk about process diagrams and flow charts. If you're a process engineer or a manufacturing engineer, you have process charts. So you have a flow chart that has a decision, right? Something goes into, if something happens, yes, it goes into something. If something happens, no, it goes into something else. So you have uh, this person is very good at deciding what goes into yes and what goes into no. He can branch out into both the things and he can devise the system to understand. Most times the S has to happen because it will be more profitable to make more S's than to make no's. Okay. So this person understands the process flow chart very clearly and drives towards the production or higher production, lower costs, better efficiency, all that skills he has. But there is always some kind of indecisive nature because if you have to improve the process and if you also have to cut down costs, okay, then you may have to select a few things. Sometimes a cheaper part may have to be installed. So then he would think, okay, this part may run for only 6 months, the other part would run for 6 years. This is 6,000 rupees, this is 600 rupees. The downtime is so much. He tries to confuse himself with so many things with Vishakha because highly skillful. And when he tries to portray this to the other people in the industry to seek approval or his boss, then what happens is his boss may not understand this because this is at a very high level. and boss is looking at a picture from the top, wherein he would say, why so many confusing numbers all around? Just make this as simpler, just a single slide and show me how much is the budget and let me approve and go ahead. That is where Vishakha is actually struggling, because he would say, why not you look at the whole picture? I'm trying to paint a picture wherein I'm going to give you the higher level information. Look at all the numbers and then make a decision. He would say, no, keep it simple. Vishakha cannot keep this simple because of the knowledge he has. Okay, Karna. Karna had issues with cousins or siblings. So Vishakha sometimes may have issues with siblings or cousins. Okay, so it could be based on talking. Okay, because eighth house would represent the seventh from the second house. So somebody is not talking properly for money reasons, social class, discrimination, uh, anything can come up here. Okay, so he may have issues with cousins or siblings because Karna always fought the Pandavas, who are his cousins, and to protect his people, he will sacrifice himself. Even that is there in this nakshatra. So Karna has actually sacrificed himself to protect Duryodhana and other people. So these people are constantly burning up themselves, like Kritika. Kritika also does the same thing. It's this opposite of Kritika is Vishakha. So you also have the same traits here. So these people keep burning themselves to support the family, to support the ecosystem that they are working in, and stuff like that. Okay, so Karna he claims himself to be a Rathika. Rathika would mean somebody who's working on a chariot. I mean, they're trying to repair the chariots. From there he started his life. So these people actually may bloom a little slowly because Karna comes up in Mahabharata very late, after he has grown up, and then he comes to the place where the competitions are happening. If you watch any of the movies, you will get to know, or even if you read Mahabharata, you understand that. So this person actually blooms a little late. He gets to understand what has to be done in his life and stuff like that a little late. Okay, so Vishakha could be, he may get a job very early in life, and he would be working like a donkey all across, maybe for 15 years. Then realizes, look, all other people are not like me. They're not working like donkeys. Why I'm a donkey? I'm more skillful than many of the people who are working. Let me come out and try to do something else because I'm not a donkey anymore. So he blooms a little late. This is one example. Second is Vishakha is not picking up any job because he thinks, anyway, my mom and dad are okay to do. I don't have any responsibilities. So let me study a little more or maybe try to understand what is running in the market. This job is not still apt for me. Let me apply it elsewhere. You know, Vishakha actually tries to postpone employment because he thinks this is not the right job. I can do more. Okay. This is one more trait of Vishakha. Both would mean they are blooming late. So if a Vishakha has a responsibility to feed parents or feed siblings or feed wife, then it is working perfectly fine. So Vishakha should have responsibilities. If a Vishakha is devoid of responsibilities, does not have responsibilities, he is going haywire here and there doing nothing. He's wasting his life. Okay, so ensure that you are given work or you are given responsibility to Vishakha. I mean, you cannot say that, look, the father as a raised man comes to Vishakha and says, look, there is responsibility for you, please go. Vishakha is an intelligent man. He knows that my bap is a millionaire. Why would I have to go out and work? My mom is happily eating at home. My siblings are doing pretty well. I need not work. I'll find something like a jackpot or a lottery or something, and I'll go to the final level of the video game in the first level itself. So I'll go into a warp zone from where I can go to the final level straight away. Why would I go all through? Okay, Vishakha would look at shortcuts. That's one more thing, and they want success very fast. Look, do not think this as a negative trait or something. This is both of anything, whatever we are talking is both positive and negative. Okay. So somebody picking up a job at 18, 20 years because he has responsibilities is actually sacrificing all his 20 years of life, which he could have, gone ahead by education and stuff like that because the person is capable. He has sacrificed all his life and then got out and then, he came out and did some business. So 20 years of good life has gone, right? So Vishakha is always towards the bali side or the sacrifice side. So these people need responsibilities. And for heaven's sake, these people will keep getting responsibilities for sure. They'll ensure that they have huge responsibilities by the age of like 40. I'll give you another example of having responsibilities. Okay. I know a case wherein, the Lagna is in Vishakha, in the Scorpio, final Charana of Vishakha. So the person is his father, his mother are okay to do. So father was getting pension, mother is fine, didn't have any responsibilities, moved across the world here, there, doing nothing, maybe doing a small odd job here and there, whatever he earned, he spent away on himself, and then finally got married. Everything is fine. Changed a few jobs here and there. When he got married, then he understood the responsibility of um, a wife, child, and everything. Then his career is more stabler. And then finally, what happened? His wife's parents, who had a male child, died at the age of 40. Okay, and the parents' responsibility came on this person. I mean, wife's parents, that is the in-laws, are staying with him now, and he's also feeding them. So from where the responsibility comes up to Vishaka, nobody knows. He would get a responsibility, and he's trying to fulfill that. Okay. And these people inspire others like anything. If you talk to a Vishakha, you would feel very relieved because the enormous amount of knowledge he has on that subject. He is open to discuss because he knows so much. He's happy to discuss anything with anyone, and he would like intelligent discussions. So inspiring others is very easy for them. These are very devoted people. And lot of obstacles come in the life of Vishakha. They're all for a good reason. Okay, they come for a reason, and they'll keep taking responsibilities of people, which is very good. And they're not afraid of any of the responsibilities. I mean, somebody like me, if somebody gets such responsibilities, I would be more worried why I'm getting all these responsibilities. Right? I mean, I in a sense, I could be you. Okay, you can put yourself. I mean, if somebody who's not a Vishakha would think, look, this is a huge responsibility. It's not easy to manage in-laws at home. Okay, but this person is very happy to manage them. And if there is responsibility of children and their progress and stuff like that in today's era, this person is actually setting up goals for himself, and he keeps on pushing those goals further ahead and ahead, and he keeps reaching them. Okay. Finally, on the symbols, I've talked about all these symbols and male tiger. So a male tiger is Vishakha. Chitra is a female tiger. So Chitra emphasizes on the creativity, on the aesthetics, on the because Chitra is like a strange thing, right? Which looks very clear, very distinct, clarity in life. All this is important for them. Vishakha male tiger is power, determination, leadership, focus on ambition and dynamic actions. Male tigers are a little slow. When they age, then only they'll understand the responsibilities. Usually, the female tigers are hunting first, and then the male tigers will go into hunting at a later age. This is what I have understood. I may still be wrong, but this aptly fits to the theme of the nakshatra. So I think I like that line, either it is true or not. Not bothered much about it. But what I have understood from Vishakha is these people are a little late bloomers. Okay. All right. So I'm talking about the houses now. We'll have the dispositor of the first lord in the first house in the Lagna. So dispositor of the Lagna lord, he would mean the first you should refer here. So the first house Cusp can also look at here. First house would mean Lagna. So somebody who has the Lagna Cusp in Vishakha or Lagna Lord Dispositor in Vishakha, or to a small extent, Lagna Lord himself in the Vishakha can look at the first house. However, look, these are not hard and fast. Whatever came to my mind at that particular point in time when I was writing all this, I wrote this. So it is not necessary that you will get only these things. These can be one of those things. However, always look for all the combinations from all the sides and then try to predict. Just not use just one nakshatra or one placement and then try to jump in the air saying, look, I have predicted something, and it may still be wrong. Okay. So native is a late bloomer. First house, native is a late bloomer, is working like a machine, okay, for a long time, and then realizes how the world works. And then he'll make more money professionally. So this can be many ways. I have just explained it to you. Okay. So issues can be there due to stepmother, mother-like a figure, lack of a mother-like figure, or mother not very careful about a lot of things. Okay, this usually happens on Vishakha fourth pada. Okay, because that falls into Scorpio, and mother not very helpful. I mean, Lagna just falls in the Scorpio Vishakha. So you may have. So I'm not saying moon is here. Okay, now I'm talking about the Lagna thing. So Lagna falls in Scorpio Vishakha, then mother may not be helpful to the native, or mother is not very uh, not real mother is there, or maybe the person has a stepmother or anything like that. That can be one possibility. Okay. Vishakha is constantly looking at partnering with friends, somebody who can travel along with them. Even when they go out, right, they always need someone alongside. So even if he goes out to get milk packets in the morning, when they go out, step out of the home, he would think there should be a companion along with me. I can keep talking while walking. So they cannot go alone. Okay, that is Vishakha. So on the expressive side, Libra people are more expressive, and the Scorpions are not expressive at all. So Scorpio starts with secrecy. So the person is secretive if he falls on the Scorpion side. On the Libra side, to the contrary, the person is very expressive, very easygoing, merry-making, fun, and all that is on the Libra side. On the Scorpion side as well, there is fun in Vishakha, but what really he has in his mind, nobody understands that. As I said, he keeps achieving goals and then he keeps pushing goals further ahead. Often gets two opportunities, two jobs, okay, two things, and always on the Y junctions. I don't know which side to go, is what Vishakha is most of the times. And they don't complain on food. They usually eat whatever is provided, and they eat a lot. Okay? Large quantity of food is expected by Vishakha because there is Agni there. And if Mars is expecting, maybe the quantity may come down, or maybe Saturn is aspecting, then also the quantity may come down. Second house, the person takes up for the protection of the family, very focused on professional success, balancing family life. Again, choice making is one thing which you can see sometimes, either to pick money or family, because both are represented by the second house. So he may pick the second house traits, like if you pick up professional life, then the personal life is going a little down. This also is possible. Third house connections, the person may have issues with siblings or cousins, or maybe sacrificing for the siblings or cousins. It can be both ways. Okay, so somebody who's sacrificing his life for siblings, or he has some issues with the siblings, because Karna tried to sacrifice himself for Duryodhana, and Karna was actually having issues with the Pandavas. Both are siblings. Or in other way, you can take the person is having issues with his own people and is okay to do with people who are outside. Even that is another prediction you can take from Vishak, because his own people he was fighting. Karna was fighting his own people to make the other people happy. All right. You can also have strange problems with mother or mother-like figures when you have the fourth house connections. The native is sort of sacrificing something for his mother or children. Lot of sacrifice is what you will see in Vishakha. A lot of responsibilities coming up. Lot of sacrifice is happening. This person is actually sacrificing himself. That is what you will get to see here. Native is indecisive. Lot of struggle. Lot of leadership skills because fifth house will talk about managerial leadership skills. Huge lot of leadership and managerial skills. Fifth house connections. So no pain, no gain. That is Vishakha. So Vishakha has pain and gain both. The more they have pain, the more they are having the gain. Uh, Usually Vishakha is fighting a big guy. Okay, somebody who is as talented as him, like the Arjuna. Karna was fighting the big guys. He's not trying to uh, talk, or he's not trying to fight any of the smaller people. Like he said, either the Yudhishthira or the Nakula or the Sahadeva or the Bhima would come up to me for fight. I wouldn't even fight with them. I would only fight with Arjuna. So the native is not going to fight with anybody who is small. He's only trying to compete with people who are much ahead of him. That's why he's highly aspirational, right? Uh, Seventh house, spouse making sacrifices. Okay, the spouse is making a sacrifices for the family to gain. Spouse is at crossroads most of her life or his life, and so there is some inheritance coming up with the eighth house connections. Uh, and the inheritance is going more into the siblings, not coming to this person. So this person is cheated or feeling cheated. Others are feeling cheated. What should I say exactly? So the other people are feeling for the native that he is cheated. However, the native takes this very sportively. He would say, look, they are in more need. So my parents have given more money to them. Why are you so worried when I am not worried? Okay, don't be worried for me. I'm pretty happy with what my parents gave. Okay, the native has 99% of the time no complaints with anyone. That's Vishaka because he thinks he can achieve anything. Let me not complain on anyone. Ninth house connections. The father has been doing a lot of sacrifices for the family or his cousins or his siblings, and he must have been a scapegoat. Actually, Vishaka is a scapegoat. So somebody who is becoming a scapegoat in something like the example which I gave. The in-laws responsibility came up on him because the brother-in-law died. Okay, so he became a scapegoat. The Vishakha man became a scapegoat because he has to feed the brother-in-law's parents who does not have any income or anything, and they're also fighting a few diseases and stuff like that. So they're elderly people, so they need hospitalization and things like that. Okay, 10th house. So someone who needs a partner to do with, not necessarily that he's only doing a business in partnership. Well, I have seen some people like, hey, there are two people I know. One is the Vishakha. He calls up another person and says, like I said, okay, what are you investing today in? He would say, I'm putting this in Reliance. Okay, I'll also buy Reliance. Hey, what are you doing today? I'm selling off Cipla. Okay, let me sell Cipla as well. Okay, that's how this person is because he thinks that if we are together, if something comes up, it is easy to actually fight. However, it's not the reality, right? Because they are both are investing differently, separately, and they always need someone to share their feelings. Okay, the 10th house, they also want to share feelings with the people at the office, and they always have a partner alongside them. Okay, sometimes there are two things at a time happening in the office, and they are trying to select the best of the two things, or trying to address a problem with two things, and sometimes they're confused which route to pick up. Okay, and he needs someone who can pat on his shoulders and say, hey, kid, you have done a good job. Okay, that's what Vishaka is. If they're not appreciated that they have done a good job, they may say, look, these people do not have simple manners and simple common sense. Okay, 11th house, in a business partnership or in an organization or even at home, the native does a lot of work, but the other partners benefit a lot more than the native. Okay, other partners could be the spouse herself or himself, or could be the cousins or the siblings. So most of the times, with what happens with Vishakha is the person who is the scapegoat, and somebody else get benefited. All right. Okay, this is what is all about Vishakha. Any comments, any feedback that you have, please share.
Sir, yes, I have a comment, and also I have some example charts.
Okay. Can you
Uh,
please give me what is the lagna and what is the comment you have?
yeah, so they are just famous charts. So one is Nita Ambani. Time of birth is bit not clear, but date of birth is November 1st. Uh, just a second.
I'll not
And
bring up the chart. Just a second. If the birth time is not clear, I'll not bring up the chart. Just explain what is the point you're making. Okay.
no, if I want to go with the chart, which is there are two options for the chart. Either she's a Sagittarius ascendant or she's a Libra ascendant. If she's in any ascendant, in both the cases, Venus is falling in Vishakha. But as the Libra ascendant, it seems more clear to me because she has second house Venus. In that case,
Okay.
so she is having multiple sources of income, like the multiplicity of Venus, and also she's had multiple professions. She was a teacher and the Bharatanatyam dancer, and then chairperson in some many industries.
Look, it's too difficult to talk about just the Venus in Scorpio and Vishakha. Okay, so I don't think we should take this chart up, and unless there is specifically, because we don't know what the lagna itself is. So we don't know if it is Libra or Scorpio or Sagittarius. It's too difficult to
Either
actually come.
Sagittarius or Libra, because two sources are there. One is Astro Sage, and another one is Pavitra
What
Jyotish.
what
There are
is
two
the
sources.
what is the rating of it of the Astro Sage? Is it AA?
That I'm not sure. I have
Okay,
to
so
see
you
it.
have to see the rating of it. So they'll give you a AA chart. Only then it is the
No,
time
it
is
is not. It's not double A. It is given as dirty data.
dirty
But
data.
the date of
No,
birth only is known, not the
no,
time.
even date of birth is not right. Okay, they're very clever people.
Oh,
They'll not publish the right thing. I'm very sure.
right. Okay. Okay, and
Okay.
the other one is like I just had a comment. So you mentioned about Radha being a Vishakha person, right? So
Yeah.
there's also, I believe, in the Vaishnavism Sampradaya, they also have a concept of Ashtasakis. So they are
Mm.
the eight companions of Radha. So few of them are Chitra, Vishakha, and then
Mm.
also Radha herself. And then there are a few other ones like Ranga Devi, Sukadevi, somebody else and all. But Vishakha is one of the companions, I believe, in that way of thinking. So I'm just wondering, are they kind of the same, or is Radha Anuradha and Vishakha
Yeah.
is just Vishakha? Not sure.
Okay. So if you go and type Vishakha in Sanskrit dictionary or Telugu dictionary, okay? If you write Vishakha in Telugu dictionary, it will show Radha, okay? Gopa Bala, Radha. Even if you type in Sanskrit dictionary, it will show you one of the meanings as Radha. Anuradha is someone who is Lalita Devi, who is a companion of Radha. Okay, let me complete the sentence. So the Ashtasakhis, Ashtabharyas are defined at different places in different ways. So my request to everyone is do not get carried away by the sanctity of the source. Okay, what we are looking at is from the astrological point of view, wherein whether the results are suitable to the nakshatra or not. So somebody Vishakha from the if you type Vishakha and see, it will show up Radha for sure in the Sanskrit dictionary. Even you go to the online dictionary and search, it will show up. Let me just share that information. I'll show up the Sanskrit dictionary. In the Telugu dictionary, for sure, I have seen that to be Radha. So I'm not very sure this comes up in Sanskrit or not. If it comes up, I'll show. Otherwise, I'll show it on the Telugu side. Because even it shows Vishakha Nakshatra and Radha is mentioned there. Divided, separated, sifted, discriminated. Okay, let me just show this up.
So probably it could be because Radha is one pada of Vishakha, and Vishakha is another pada of Vishakha itself, because it has been said in that story that they are of the same age,
That's what I'm
Vishakha
saying.
and Radha.
If you read 100 stories, right, you have 100 because they're all folklores. So folklores are different at different places. It is delivered differently. You go to North India, you have a different folklore. Okay, so it is expressed differently there. So they may not agree with what we are saying. Let's not go by the sanctity of this, or do not try to get into things wherein you're trying to validate it. You may not be able to validate it for sure, but what I can see is the traits matching or not is what we have to go by. I mean, had you said, look, this is what a Vishakha horoscope I have, and these traits are matching or not matching for whatever reason, that would bring in you know more interest to people.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
My father, I have two charts. I have seen two charts. There is a problem with mother in
Okay.
Vishakha.
Okay. So can you tell
My
me
father,
what is the lagna and what is it?
uh, Capricorn Lagna and moon in Vishakha first pada.
Okay.
And my grandmother don't like my father for some reasons. And she never मतलब जैसे वो अपने बाकी बच्चों को प्यार करती थी, उन्होंने कभी नहीं किया मेरे पापा को till she is old age.
Okay. This is what he used to feel. Okay. Acha. But what we have to usually look at is what are the planets that you have in the Cancer, because Moon becomes the dispositor of those. Do you have planets in the Cancer?
Let me see. And second chart was also like कि mother से कोई support नहीं मिलता ज्यादा कुछ. Yeah, Rahu and
मैडम आपको लग्ना पहले बताना है. What is the लग्ना?
Lagna Capricorn,
Okay. Capricorn लग्ना.
Jupiter retro in
Jupiter
Lagna.
retro in the lagna. Okay. Vishakha में क्या है? What is that you have in Vishakha?
Moon in Vishakha
Okay.
first
Again,
pada.
Moon and Vishakha first pada. Okay.
And Cancer is empty. And
Okay.
Mars is in this is Mars.
अच्छा, क्या रिजल्ट आया है दोनों में? व्हाट इज द रिजल्ट यू हैव गॉट?
जो रिजल्ट इनमें मतलब मेरी दादी माँ है, उन्होंने मतलब फादर को कभी भी अपने बच्चों की इक्वल ट्रीट नहीं करा और उनको रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी भी उठानी पड़ी। मतलब वो ऐसे चाहते थे
दूसरी दूसरी
कि जो
हॉरोस्कोप के
मेरे
बारे
बाप
में
की बच्चे
दूसरा हॉरोस्कोप जो आप बात
दूसरी
कर रहे थे। हाँ,
वो उनकी मदर हमेशा बीमार रहती है और
वो भी
बचपन से ही
वो भी
मतलब बीमार ही।
वो भी कैप्रिकॉन लगना
हम्म।
है, और वो भी कैप्रिकॉन लगना है, और मून इज इन।
नहीं, वो मून इज इन विशाखा एंड ही इज वर्गो असेंडेंट।
हाँ, ओके, वर्गो असेंडेंट। उसमें भी कैंसर में कोई कोई ग्रह नहीं है?
नहीं, उसमें है, उसमें राहु, वीनस और ये मरकरी है।
हाँ, तो लग्ना लॉर्ड डिस्पोजिटर हुआ ना फिर तो विशाखा में। मरकरी इज द लग्ना लॉर्ड डिस्पोजिटर इन
हम्म।
विशाखा। यस, ओके। तो जिंदगी में बहुत सारे फेल्यूर्स थे, उसके बाद सक्सेस मिला, सही है।
हाँ,
ओके।
सेम विद माय फादर, बहुत सारे। और एक वो स्टोरी भी है विश्वामित्र की, जो उनको वो अप्सरा ने थोड़ा, फिर वो ऐसे बोलते हैं कि विशाखा को या तो उससे वाइन से दूर रहना चाहिए और फीमेल से थोड़ा संभल के रहना चाहिए।
हम्म
डिस्ट्रैक्शन यहीं से आता है विशाखा को। और सर
अलग
एक वो जो स्टोरी है सन
अलग
का,
अलग
जो
लोग अलग अलग
सन
चीज
और
कहते हैं, क्योंकि इंद्र और एक अग्नि है, दोनों को दिक्कत विमेन से हुआ है। तो इवन दैट्स अ पॉइंट, आई मीन समबडी वांट्स टू नो कि इलिसिट रिलेशनशिप्स ऐसा कुछ है तो विशाखा में ज्यादा दिक्कत होता है। इफ द पर्सन इज क्लियर इन द कॉन्सेप्ट्स ऑफ नॉट हैविंग रिलेशनशिप्स आउटसाइड मैरिज, या फिर ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, तो बेटर बेटर प्लेस्ड फॉर विशाखा। बोलिए, आप कुछ बोल रहे थे।
नहीं सर, शायद वो स्टोरी विशाखा विशाखा से रिलेट नहीं करती वो जो, नहीं वो अलग है।
हाँ, विशाखा से रिलेट नहीं करता है वो।
हम्म।
ओके। क्योंकि वशिष्ठ के क्या बोलते हैं, विश्वामित्र के बारे में अलग से आएगा, बताऊंगा, अभी नहीं। लेट अस स्टिक टू विशाखा। Is there anybody else who has any feedback on any horoscope wherein we have seen Vishakha?
सर
नमस्कार।
हेलो सर।
हाँ जी, बोलिए। कोई एक डिसाइड कर लो। मितु बोलो।
जी सर, तो आपने जो बताया कि लेट ब्लूमर्स होता है एंड बहुत मतलब फेलियर्स के बाद करियर बनता है, दैट इज द केस विथ मी। एंड मेरा सैटर्न और केतु दोनों विशाखा फोर्थ पदा में है। बट देन आई एम अ एरीज लग्न। तो ये कैसे होता है? मतलब डू वी सी, because it's my 10th house and 11th house lord in the 8th house.
हम्म
So but how do we see it कि ये मतलब आपने जो traits बताए वो तो फिर हर किसी को तो मैच नहीं करेगा। तो how do we study the traits जो आप बताते हैं? How do we relate it with the planets?
So do you have planets in the Capricorn and Aquarius?
Aquarius में सर मार्स एंड वीनस का कंजंक्शन है।
हाँ, तो लग्ना लॉर्ड इज इन Aquarius, करेक्ट?
या
Now Aquarius lord is in Vishakha, correct?
करेक्ट।
So Lagna lord dispositor is in Vishakha.
ओके
Okay.
ओके, यस सर, दैट मेक सेंस क्योंकि आई माय
Listen,
करियर स्टार्टेड। या
listen. So your life theme is more Vishakha
ओके
because your Lagna lord dispositor is in Vishakha. Your life theme is more Vishakha. So what does Lagna lord dispositor means is find out where your Lagna lord is and just check the lord of that sign. So now your Lagna lord is Mars. Mars is in Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. Now check where Saturn is, in which nakshatra Saturn is. Saturn is in Vishakha Nakshatra. Also check if there is any more planets in Vishakha Nakshatra, it will actually add up to it. Now you have Ketu also in Vishakha Nakshatra, correct?
या
So it will add up further more into Vishakha. So you are on the Scorpion side, so you are a secretive woman. You would not want to express too much about yourself. You're not on the Libran side of Vishakha.
No, sir, I am not that secretive. I express myself. But the only trait I could relate was like the late bloomer is like spot on
अभी
because
आपका उम्र
but then
अभी आपका उम्र क्या है? What is your age?
sir 39 plus
Okay.
and my career started at the age of 30 31 and
But
the
you are a
job
woman.
I
You're still a woman, right? So women are little different from men. So what would lot of sacrifices? Are you not getting the sacrifices thing with respect to Vishakha? Do you think you made some
yes
sacrifice?
yes
So then
yes
you're
I did
more into
yeah
Vishakha.
yeah yes sir
You're
I
more-
made sacrifices because of my siblings
Yeah, so you're more Vishakha.
yeah
You're more.
okay
It's only the thing is not all the traits may be applying, right? Because if you look at the
yeah
chart, some traits may not be applicable. You have to look at the whole chart. What we will do is we
okay
finish up all the nakshatras as fast as possible, and then we will sit down and we will pick up horoscopes from each person. नाम बोलने का जरूरत नहीं रहेगा. I mean, you did not disclose whose name it is. We need at least 40-45 minutes solidly. That is when we can talk about the whole horoscope. Otherwise, it will be a short thing. It is difficult for me to explain in a short span of 20 minutes or 15 minutes. That's why I'm saying try to pick up as many traits by looking at what you have. I mean, if you can relate it from the first house or the second house or the third house and try
तो
to.
सर सॉरी फॉर इंटरप्टिंग सर तो मेरा एक्वेरियस में तो वीनस भी है इट्स अ सेवेंथ हाउस लॉर्ड तो इट्स आल्सो लाइक माय पार्टनर विल आल्सो हैव विशाखा ट्रेट्स
Correct. Correct.
या ओके
Seventh house lord. The partner also has Vishakha traits.
yes because some of traits also matches him like you know the responsibility of parents though he have elder brothers but it is on
Hmm.
him to take care of the parents and yeah they matches
Hmm. Hmm. So responsibility is milna. Even though
yes
you're not for them. I mean, you're not actually designed for it. I mean, like the first child will take the responsibility of parents, but Vishakha ensures that the responsibility comes to him.
correct exactly sir 100% thank you sir
Somebody else had a comment.
Sir, the
Yes.
trait about being sacrificial and celebrating the success of their friends as their own, that I
Hmm.
could relate to. This is about a young girl's chart who's got Lagna in Vishakha, Saturn and Mars in Vishakha. And she
Man.
does that a lot. And she's my daughter, and I see that
Okay.
a lot in her. And
So
yeah.
can you just tell me, is it Scorpio Lagna or the
No,
Libra
sir.
Lagna?
Libra. It's August 31st, 2014.
No, I don't need the detail. Okay. Don't give the
Okay.
detail.
Okay.
It's Libra Lagna and and Mars are together in the same house.
Yes, sir.
Okay. In Scorpio or in Lagna?
In Libra, and both of them are 5 degrees apart.
Okay.
20 Saturn is at 23 and Mars is at 27 and Lagna is at 27.
Okay. So this lady is going to fight for everyone and take up a lot of responsibility on her. If she's joining a factory, she can become like a union leader, and she tries to fight for somebody else, and she wins something else, and she'll distribute everything to the other people. She'll not keep anything with her.
You're perfectly spot on, sir. She's 10 years old. I get calls from the principal saying, girls come to her saying this guy hit her, and this one will go solve the issue. And she's only in 5th grade. So
You have to
yeah,
counsel her. Okay, this is a very revolutionary person. You have to counsel her someday.
Okay.
because they may invite problems unnecessarily into life when
Very
Saturn and
much.
Mars are together in the Lagna. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yes,
have to
sir.
give her some counseling, some. But that's a good trait. Vishakha is extremely capable of many things.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. Anybody else has any? Unless you're done. I mean, are you done, ma'am?
Yes, sir. These are the things I could completely relate to. Yeah.
I mean, she's still a child, so it will take a lot of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Because
she's always
Vishakha,
giving, even her favorite gifts, she can easily give it away. If somebody says, her friend says, I like it. There is no attachment as such, which I notice in kids. This child doesn't have.
correct. Okay,
Yeah,
good
that's
to hear.
about it, sir.
Okay. Anybody else has any questions or comments?
Yes, sir. I know someone who's a Lagna, Scorpio, and it's on Visakha 4th pada.
Okay.
And Moon is not in a good place. Moon is in 8th house. Moon is in Mragashira.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and Lagna Lord Dispositors Hasta, exalted Hasta, Mercury.
Okay.
So of course, but those are all maybe some other things. But the thing is, most of the things are right. Like some of the things like continuous struggles and problem with mother-like figures, and a lot of responsibilities and a lot of struggles, late blooming, and also very good at what did you say, that flow charts and all, right? The coding kind of stuff and logical mind. Maybe
Right.
because of Mercury is the Lagna dispositor, I don't know. But these things are, Vishakha things are their struggles, independent, highly independent, and yeah. Mm. And also like a kind of sacrificial. Kind of sacrificial. For sure, if he knows that the person he loves or likes, they have some flaws or something, easy to forgive or go with them, or yeah. And also very secretive, very, very highly secretive, not able to express. Communication is worst.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are the some of the things you said, but might coincide with some of the traits of Vishakha 4, and also doesn't belong to any branch or any group.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one more thing I forgot to say. So it's neither belonging to that group or not this group. If there is a groupism in the office, these people do not get into groups.
Yeah. Also in personal life, we have like some are more clinged to their mother side, some are more clinged to their, and or they'll get support from either mother or in-law side. That is also there. No groupisms in office, like boss helping or something like that. Everything is independent. Big achiever. And also you said that Indra and Agni, the face, and handsome and charming. And you also said if it is they have some afflictions also, you said it represents mouth, right?
Correct.
Yeah, because related to Lagna, the body and all, maybe. Yeah. So, but yeah, charming
The
face.
lips and the mouth, mustache, all that area is this.
Yeah, like seems that's a bit, but overall the face is highly looks very handsome, and all the traits like no branch, struggling, helping others, and doesn't have too much attachment to anything, and understanding people. Yeah. So I can go on and on, but whatever is related to, because I have learned Hasta and other also from you. So yeah, it means lot of things, and also Vishakha traits also matching, especially these ones: struggles, independent, reading charts, so understanding maps. He's the first one in the family who can really understand the map. If you give the map in an unknown city, unknown country, or anything, he's the first one to figure it out where to go.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay.
हेलो
Yes, go
सर,
ahead.
दैट्स सर वो जो बिजनेस में फेल हो जाते हैं बार बार, फिर लास्ट में, और एक्सट्रीमली इंटेलिजेंट होते हैं, ये भी बात एकदम सही है। हार्ड वर्किंग,
Okay.
मतलब
Okay.
मेरी मम्मी हमेशा बोलती है कि यू कैन नॉट बी इवन कंपेयर्ड टू योर फादर, ऑल
Okay.
ऑफ योर 4 kids.
Okay.
I know a Guru Garu, I know a person with Rohini
Okay.
Lagna, with
Rohini.
Venus and Ketu,
Rohini Lagna.
Rohini
Okay.
Lagna, Rohini
Okay.
Lagna, with Venus and Ketu in Chitta and Mercury in Vishakha, Sun in Anuradha and Moon in Jeshta.
You're going too fast. Just make yourself limited
Uh,
to only Vishakha. Okay. So you have a
Vishakha.
Lagna in the Taurus. Rohini is rising, and in Vishakha, which planet you said you have?
Mercury.
Okay. So what is there in Gemini and Virgo?
No planets.
Okay. So there are no planets in Gemini and Virgo. So Mercury is not dispositing anything, but it is just placed in the which house? 6th house or 7th
Vishakha.
house?
7th house.
Okay. So
Vishakha fourth
Vishakha
pada.
fourth pada. Okay. Vishakha fourth pada. Okay. What results have you got? So this aspects the Lagna.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
She protects her family.
Okay.
And she stayed away from both mother and father. She lived independently.
Okay.
Moreover, she's a struggler, and she sacrificed her. Though she is a working woman, she always chooses family over professional life. So she works very hardly, and she's very straightforward person. She tell on the face itself. Maybe because of Chitta, she got that trait.
That's a Chitra trait.
Straightforward personality.
Straightforward Chitra. Correct.
Mhm.
So
These
what
are
is that? What is that you specifically said about Vishakha? You said she is supportive of parents,
protector of the family,
protector of the
or
family.
siblings,
So
especially siblings.
okay, especially siblings. And did
Hmm.
she have to sacrifice a little bit of herself for the professional career and personal career both?
Not personal or professional career. For the sake of family, she used to sacrifice professional life only.
Okay, that's
And
it.
she
That's
works
good.
very hard.
Okay. And she's a very good intelligent.
She's intelligent and she's a working woman. She works. In a week, she used to take leave for 2 or 3 days, and she used to stay at house, and she used to do all the household work
Okay.
rather than going to the work. She prefers to stay at house, and she used to do household work.
Okay.
But she works continuously, non-stop.
Okay. Acha, one more thing I forgot to
These
tell
are
you. So you all can go to this website, vedicastro.com/Vishakha. So Vishakha is the nakshatra. So, and all this content is available. Go ahead and read. Maybe a few points here and there I might have missed by overlook. You can go there, and because I usually write whatever comes to my mind and document this so that it will be useful for everyone. This is a free website. Anybody can go and read. Sorry, you were saying something in between. I got this idea of telling this. Are you done, madam?
yes, sir, I'm done, sir.
Okay. So, any more comments? Okay.
Sir,
Acha,
I have a question. Just a question in general. So I'm trying to get some celebrity charts, but it seems that many Indian celebrities are not available as a AA rating. Do you suggest any place from where we can get a verified one for Indian celebrities?
I'll say no. I'll say no to any of the celebrity chart. Don't bring any celebrity charts. Always pick charts from your family, friends, and people. They are more reliable. Okay, because you know a lot of things about them. If you talk about Ambani, right, or Neeta Ambani, you don't know her, what her personality is. Whatever is portrayed in the in the TV or elsewhere is what you know about. They all must be. I mean, don't take me wrong. They all must be acting in front of the camera. So what her real life is, we do not know. Okay, so I would not prefer anybody who's a celebrity unless you're talking about success or something. That's the motive. Let's suppose when did
Yeah,
PV
that only I'm talking about, because some
Narasimha?
of the, like, for example, when I was doing some research on Vishakha, I found probably Mars is in Vishakha for Abdul Kalam, and he's known as Missile Man. So Mars is that fiery planet. It
You have
is
to you have to let me speak. Wait a second. You have moon in Jeshta or what?
no, no, no.
Okay. So let me speak. Listen to me. We'll come to such horoscopes after some time. So we're talking about success of people and how they have gone up the ladder, when the right times have come for them, or things like that. That time will come, then we can bring in celebrity charts. I also have a lot of them. And you refer to books written by Pandit Sanjay Rath and people like that. There are a lot of celebrity charts mentioned. But what I would say is, do not get any of them. You don't have to mention your name or anything. Nowhere the names are mentioned. So you bring charts of people whom you know well, whom you know, your cousins, your siblings, your, I don't know, from or your friends or anyone. Better not to bring celebrity charts, because
Okay.
none of the data is right, and they intentionally put wrong data. Okay,
Okay.
all right. Any more questions, comments, anything? Usually, what happens is, a lot of colleagues, a lot of cousins would share data if you're learning something, as long as you're not mentioning their names
అయితే
or
మూత
anything.
పెట్టే కొంచెం మెత్తబడితే సరిపోతుంది.
Okay, so okay, so
Sir, I have a question.
yes.
Is there any significance for the number of stars in a nakshatra? Like I'm going over Vishakha right now in your website, so it is saying number of stars 4. For Mola, it's saying 9. So Satabisha 100. So yeah, what is the significance of it?
Okay, one of the significations is, especially when there is one star, like Chitra and Swati have just one star. Okay, this can be used in different ways. One simple way which I got to know is, when nakshatras have just one star, it means that there is only one signification working. Or in that sense, what would it mean is, let's suppose somebody is married and divorced for whatever reason. A divorce happened, and somebody wants to resurrect himself into another marriage. He wants to get into another marriage. If the seventh connections are mostly in Chitra, okay, let's suppose the Lagna is Aries, seventh Lord Venus in Chitra in seventh house. So now what happens? Ashwini, let us suppose Ashwini 5 degree is the cusp. Ashwini 5 degree is the cusp of the Lagna. Seventh has just Venus in Chitra, in the maybe in the fifth degree itself. So exactly opposite to it, Venus is there. So for whatever reason, okay, this will not collapse the marriage. This will actually make the marriage running. If there are other combinations to give a divorce or anything, okay, and divorce happens for whatever reason, if this happens, then the person will not be able to marry once again, because the chart, the Chitra has only one star. So once the signification of that is lost, it cannot come back again. Okay, that's one way of looking at it. The other thing is, if it's connected to 10th house, a person may be running just one business in Chitra. If he's running two businesses in Chitra, one of the businesses will be dying, the other one is working. Or none of the businesses are working because he's trying to split his single business into two things. Okay, he's actually doing one business, but he has one part made in one company, another part made in another company, and he's trying to assemble both of them into another company and then sell. then Chitra would say, no, it will not work like that. Okay, these are the significations you can use with Chitra and Swati, which are having 1 star on business and marriage. This is one way of looking at it. There are 100 ways of looking at it. Eventually, I'll teach you. This is a bigger concept.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Also, one more question.
Yes.
Yeah. So there are some alignment with these nakshatras, right? Just like you said, Bharani is Yama, and so he goes along with something, and Arudra doesn't go well with Rohini. So like that, what is the compatible? Is there any like that goes aligned with Vishakha that reinforce or that will cut down or against or for towards Vishakha?
Not necessarily every star will have that. Okay. Vishakha, as I said, it is Vishakha. It does not belong to any of the group. So
Okay.
yeah, it's okay with both the groups. Does not have a Shakha. Vinashakha, Yeti Vishakha. So it does not have any group. It goes with both.
Okay, sir. Got it. Thank you.
But once we are done with all the nakshatras, right, when we pick up examples and try to do the reading, then we will learn a lot of things. In the Telugu class, actually, we have done a lot of that because Telugu we have started about 1.5 years ago. This is still recent. I mean, this is only 4th month or 3rd month running in case of English. So a lot of people might not even have understood what I'm trying to teach because we are on the very basic level. So a lot of things will come eventually. I mean, be a little patient with nakshatras. These are very, very important significations and they help you a lot. The only thing is, unless you are picking up a few horoscopes and mastering them, they'll fly off in a jiffy. And it's difficult to actually uh, have a hold of them in the mind. You have to keep practicing. And look at horoscopes and just try to find out what are all the planets one planet is dispositing. From there, you will understand a lot of things.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Anybody else has a comment or anything? Yes.
Sir, about the dispositor of the Lagna, whichever sign the Lord of the Lagna is, that is the main thing that will show more properties
Correct.
of the individual, sir. I'm sorry, I'm not
Correct.
able to put it properly.
Yes, correct. That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Like the other lady said, it's Aries Lagna, Mars is in Aquarius, Saturn is the Lord of Aquarius. So Mars is being disposited by Saturn. So Saturn becomes the dispositor of Lagna.
Okay.
Or Lagna Lord dispositor, we call it.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. If you want this in native languages, we call it Paka Lagna. So not even Paka Lagna. Paka Lagna we have to call it. Because Lagna Lord, wherever he is, it's called as Paka Lagna. You have to call it as maybe Paka Lagna or dispositor is the most oftenly used word. I don't know what we call this in native language. Because abhi dimag se nikal gaya sab. Ever since we got into English, since 15, 20 years, I think a lot of terms are going off our brains. Okay, so as I said, always use dispositor and from there try picking up. So any planet is very powerful when it is actually, so let us suppose Mercury you are looking at. If you're looking at Mercury, ensure that there are planets in Gemini and Virgo. Pick up any chart, right? Some planets will be there, more planets will be there in one Rashi. Whatever becomes the lord of the sign, that is actually having more, to talk about. Let us suppose just take this chart. I don't know, just came up as a random chart. Look at this chart. It has more planets in Virgo, right? Now Mercury is very important because 3 planets Mercury is dispositing. Okay, this is one more way of looking at it. Even not taking Lagna now, just just looking at and seeing 3 planets are there in Virgo and 2 planets are there in Gemini. So Mercury is a dispositor of totally 5 planets. So whatever nakshatra Mercury is in, it would actually show a lot of result.
Okay.
Okay. So Hasta would show a lot of result. Then we would look at what is the Lagna. Okay. What is the Lagna? That is, Pushya is the Lagna. Then we would look at who's the Lagna Lord. Lagna Lord is Magha. Moon is in Magha. Then we will look at the dispositor, that is Sun. Sun is in Uttara Phalguni. So we'll use 70% of Uttara Phalguni, then use Lagna's cusp, Pushya, and then use 10% of the Lagna Lord, that is Magha. All 3 will mix up and make a statement or theme for life. Besides that, we also use Hasta because Mercury is dispositing a lot of planets, and we try to see how Hasta is working. Combine all this, and it will make a theme for life. It's not easy to make a theme for life in seconds. You may have to take a few minutes, couple of minutes. That's why always take. जैसे अभी मुर्दों को पहले देते हैं, right? You go to a doctor. Let's suppose you're doing an MBBS degree. There will be an autopsy thing. So what do you call that? Anatomy class. So they'll get you a dead body first, try to open it up, and then show what organs are at which place. So you're going to take a horoscope of an elderly man or a woman who has crossed like 50 years or 60 years. You will have hundreds of events in their lives. Go back and check how their life is, and you establish the theme. So you understand all the significations and you combine all of them. It will take some time. It's not going to come overnight because there are so many significations for the nakshatras. And a few nakshatras share the same significations. So if Lagna Lord, Lagna Dispositor, Lagna Cusp, all 3 share a common trait. Okay, let's suppose one trait is common across all of them. Then that trait is actually going to get multiplied and showed up more in life. Okay, and so there can be a few traits which are contradicting to each other. They will vanish. They don't appear at all because they cancel against each other. Okay.
So this might be a very silly question, but I've read somewhere that when planets are very close to each other, they have something called Graha Yuddha. Does that happen when 2 or more planets are in the same nakshatra? Do they
No.
will they keep fighting for the traits of the nakshatra?
No. I got your question. I'll explain it to you. Okay, I got the question. So Graha Yuddha happens when 2 planets are in conjunction in less than 1 degree. Okay, the difference between the longitude shall be less than 1 degree. Let us suppose you take here Mercury, Sun, and Jupiter are together. Mercury is at 14 degrees, Sun is at 7 degrees, Jupiter is at 2 degrees. So had Jupiter and Mercury, okay, these 2 planets are just adjacent to each other. So had Jupiter is in 15th degree and Mercury is in 14th degree, that's when there is a Graha Yuddha. First thing. Okay. Second thing is count the days of the week. Count the days of the week. You know the days of the week, right? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Again, Sunday comes up. Correct?
Yeah.
So just remove the luminaries. Luminaries are Sunday and Monday. So Sun and Moon are removed. Saturday rolls back to Tuesday. So Monday is removed. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Tuesday. Sunday and Monday are removed because they are luminaries. Luminaries do not get into fight. Luminaries actually absorb the light or give away light. That's how it is. Because Sun gives the Astangatva. So they do not fall into Yuddha. Okay. So now Saturn and Mars. Okay. After Saturday, what comes up is Tuesday. Because Sunday and Monday are removed. If Saturn and Mars are less than 1 degree, and if they are in a war, that is the biggest war.
Okay.
The second war are any consecutive planets. So Monday is removed. So Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday, Wednesday. That means Mars and Mercury. If they are in a war, that's a big war. Wednesday, Thursday. Mercury and Jupiter. If they are in a war, they are in a war. Okay. Jupiter, Venus. If they are in a war, they are in a war. Venus, Saturn. If they are on a war, they are on a war. If they are not, if let us suppose Mars is in Yuddha with Venus, it's not a war at all because they are not consecutive planets.
Okay.
Okay. You know why? Because if they are on the same degree, just draw a sun. Okay. If you can see my cursor, if let us suppose this chart is sun, and if there are planets in straight line. Okay. So the shadow of one planet falls on the other planet if they are on the same longitude. Okay.
Yes.
So the light on the next planet is not enough. So if they are only consecutive, that is when the complete overshadow falls on the next planet. Otherwise, not. That is the logic.
Got it, sir. So in the Yuddha, will they have conflicting properties?
Yeah, in the Yuddha, I'll show you. See, in the Jagannath Hora, you right click here. Graha Yuddha is there, planetary war. Do this. So it'll show up which planet has won and which planet has lost. But in Jagannath Hora, what happens is he gives all the planets, Sun to Ketu. So it will give all the planets. Rahu Ketu will not be in Yuddha because they are not physical planets. Sun and Moon are luminaries, they will not be in Yuddha. Okay. And anytime Venus falls into Yuddha, Venus always wins because Shukracharya never lost a war, or rather, Parashurama never lost a war in his life. Every time he waged a war, only Parashurama has won. So Venus represents Parashurama. So if Venus is in a war, Venus will always ensure that he wins. He is the Rakshasa Guru. And if he wages a war, only he will win. He never loses it. And there are a few more things which we'll talk about when we talk about planets. I'll talk about planets for sure once I complete the nakshatras. Then we will talk about a little bit of rashis, and then we'll talk about planets. Because planets come at the very last. What is important is the nakshatras. When you master these nakshatras, you don't even need planets. I use planets very less. When I started early on, I was using planets like mad, and the results were not coming during 99, 2000, 2001, 2, 3, 4. I was always, worried about myself. I've got so many horoscopes with me. None of the results were working because I was not applying the nakshatra rules or the rashi rules or anything. Only after having read all the nakshatras, then we have understood. In fact, nakshatras I have done at the very end. So only about 4 or 5 years ago, I got to know what nakshatras are. And ever since I got to know about them, a lot of things are a lot clearer now. That's why I've started teaching whatever I know.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, my doubt is in Graha Yuddha, if one planet wins, what does it signify? If one planet lose, what does it signify, sir?
Okay. In Graha Yuddha, both the planets are going to suffer. You just imagine you are waging a war with someone. If a kingdom goes, let's suppose, let God forbid, two countries go into a war. Okay, what happens? Both the countries are affected, both economically, financially, people-wise. There will be deaths. There will be some women who are struggling because they lost their husbands, right? Fatherless children will be there. All these things will happen. Right? On both sides, it will happen. So both the planets are losing strength. That is first thing. Second thing, whichever wins will give you at least 50% of the results. Whichever has lost is not going to give you results or going to give you negative results. It's not good to have Graha Yuddhas, especially consecutive planets. Saturn, Mars, that's the worst Yuddha to happen. Mercury, Jupiter is also one of the worst Yuddhas to happen.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, another doubt is if one more doubt, sir. If 2 or 3 planets will be remaining in the same sign and in the same degree for 2 or 3 days. So people whoever born on those days will have same type of Graha Yuddha.
Same planet is going to remain for
will
3 days, 4 days. Yes, they will be, but their lagna is changing, right?
Yes, sir.
So the result is going to change completely.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
The Lagna
Thank
is
you, sir.
changed. The Lagna is changed.
But both the planets or the whatever the planets which were there at that time and the people who were born in those days will have less strength of those planets.
So let us suppose the eighth and the sixth. Okay, if they are representing the bad houses, they get into a war. They can give you both bad results, extreme bad results, or extreme good results. Both can happen. It's too hard to generalize without looking the horoscope. Okay, always look at the horoscope.
Oh.
So no matter
Okay,
how
sir.
much ever you learn about planets, there will still be something which is unlearned or not learned or still to be learned. This is an everyday affair. अगर आपने सीखना शुरू किया है horoscopes के बारे में, astrology, this is a no end thing for 20 years. You learn for 20 years, you may say that I learned a few things.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. And any more questions? Let's stop here. I think we've crossed our time. 9:05 it is already. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.